Today, we'll be talking about one of the most controversial ghost hunting methods out there. Paranormal investigation is pretty controversy filled as it is, so it's no surprise a widely accepted process or method has come into some controversy itself. If you've seen ghost hunters, paranormal YouTubers, or any number of ghost shows or content, you've probably seen flashlights placed down and start turning on and off in response to questions. This is a very basic form of ITC, or instrumental transcommunication, basically just talking to ghosts with electronic devices. Widely referred to as the flashlight method, this process involves a very specific brand of flashlight, a mag light. These devices have a twist top instead of a push button like most other brands, and this is very important to understanding what's actually going on behind this method. Most people using this technique start by setting the flashlight in an intermediary state. They do this by turning the top until the light turns on and turning it very slightly until it turns off. This creates a situation where the contacts between the bulb and the power source are very close together but not actually touching. In this state, it becomes a very sensitive device that is supposedly easy for spirits to manipulate. But setting the device up like this could also make the flashlight very sensitive to environmental factors as well, including its own heat variation, expanding and contracting and toggling somewhat randomly. Now, this isn't to say that every use of the flashlight method is fake, but it's very important to understand that there is an aspect of randomness. Here at RIP, our group has done a good bit of testing with this method, and we've determined that it is simply too random and too hard to prove you're getting genuine interaction and responses to be used as part of our main toolkit. But we've also had some very convincing experiences documented using this method, with multiple flashlights being used for yes and no responses, and even answering control questions consistently and accurately. Could you turn on the flashlight? Okay.
Thanks.
We need you to turn on both flashlights.
What?
You turn the other one on now? So they're both on? Thank you. Alright, one more time. Could you turn them both off? One last time, and then we're gonna ask you some questions. Could you turn off the other flashlight, just so we know that it's you and not random chance? And we are definitely not the only ones who have experienced this positive side of the method. However, the debate around the flashlight method doesn't end there. Its legitimacy is not only questioned by skeptics, but by prominent individuals and organizations within the paranormal research community as well. Many investigators, like ourselves, argue that the flashlight method is fundamentally flawed due to the lack of controlled condition and potential for false positives. The flashlight method, in essence, uses a simple binary system: light on, light off, and many investigators will pose a prompt such as turn the flashlight on if blank. However, this binary system is inherently limited. Ghosts, if they exist and can interact with us, are assumed to be conscious beings with complex thoughts and emotions. Reducing their communication to yes or no questions could potentially oversimplify and even misinterpret their messages. And lastly, the lack of a universal protocol for the flashlight method raises additional concerns. Different investigators twist the flashlight different degrees, place it on different surfaces, and ask different types of questions. The process I described earlier in this video is one of many, and this lack of standardization makes it nearly impossible to compare results across different investigations. So where does this leave the flashlight method on the scale from entertainment gimmick to scientific tool? Personally, I believe this method should only really be used as a supplement to other forms of ITC. Basing any hard evidence on this method is completely out of the question. But if it confirms other responses received, that's great. We definitely use these devices less overall after doing extensive research on the topic, but they will always hold a spot in paranormal investigation as a classic tool which paved the way for devices like the REM pod as a means of communication. Despite its limitations, the flashlight method continues to captivate ghost hunters and the general public alike. Its simplicity and potential for dramatic results make it an appealing tool for both amateur investigators and TV personalities. But like all tools in the paranormal investigator's arsenal, it should be used with caution and a healthy dose of skepticism. It is crucial to continuously question, experiment, and validate the tools and methods we use in our quest to understand the unknown. Remember, the goal of paranormal investigation is not to prove the existence of ghosts, but to seek the truth, whatever that may be. Make sure to subscribe for more.